y'all for hanging around. I know it's been a long day. Glad to be here. Glad to represent Troy University. Humbled to follow Coach Larry Blakeney. I know a lot of you all miss him, and I do too. Excited to be back in the Sun Belt Conference. It's changed quite a bit since I left in 2009. I think it's more competitive. It's a much improved league. Brought two guys that are great representatives of Troy University, running back Brandon Burks and our defensive end bandit Tyler Roberts. Two great guys. Tyler will graduate on Friday with a degree in accounting, and Brandon will graduate in December with a criminal justice major. So two great representatives. Looking at the preseason predictions and things like that, I think people have low expectations for year one and coming back to Troy. I think we're picked 8th to finish in the league. We had only one first-team Sun Belt representative, 2 on the second team, and we got no ESPN midweek games. So, like I've talked to our players about, I think you either prove them right or you prove them wrong. So we're going to have an opportunity starting against North Carolina State there in week 1. Proud of the history of our program. I did some research on the drive down. Like most of you probably got stuck in some traffic on I-10. But Southern Cal and Troy, both Trojans, I don't think by any coincidence, only schools in the 2000s that have won 5 consecutive conference championships. We have 3 national championships at Troy, so we're proud of our history, and we're hungry to get back to the top of the Sun Belt Conference. We've had great administrative support since I got this job in December. I want to make sure that that's known. Gave us a great salary structure to go out and hire a tremendous staff. We've put about $600,000 into facility upgrades in our field house and some other things for our student athletes. And I'm pleased that our North End Zone project is on pace. And hopefully we can break ground there in December, and that'll have a completion date sometime spring, summer of 17. And our administration has made the decision to move ahead with cost of attendance. So we're excited about that. And with that, I wanted to open it up for questions.
How you doing, Coach? This will be your second stint serving on the coaching staff here at Troy. Last season, you didn't do too well from a record standpoint. What's your plan headed into the fall to improve on those numbers?
Well, I think what we've set out since December 1st when I got this job, got the opportunity to come back to Troy University, was really focus on our culture. And the 2 things that we've focused on the most is discipline and accountability, bringing discipline back, focus on details, and accountability, not only to ourselves, but our university and our teammates. So I'm pleased with our kids. If you look at it, we had a 3.02 GPA in summer 1. We had a 2.8 overall in the spring. I think 37 guys had a 3.0 or higher on our football team, so they're buying in. Our buy-in factor is high. This is the 3rd time that I've been on the front end of a staff. You go back to Texas Tech with Tommy Tuberville, Mark Stoops at Kentucky, and then here is the head coach. And this has been the highest buy-in factor that I've seen. So, as far as what our goals are going into it, I think our goal within our program, and I'm not scared to say it, we want to be the most improved team in the country and the most improved team in the conference. And I think that there's a couple things you can look at yourself at. We finished both after 100, total offense and scoring defense. So we were looking to improve that. We want to lead the league in turnover margin and cut down on penalties. And I think we can do that and be one of the top or most improved teams in the country.
Last question. It's no secret. Everywhere you've been, offenses love to throw the ball, and you're no different. So now that you're back at Troy, will you all establish that, or you want to keep the offense 50? What's the offense going to look like in the fall?
Well, I think as a play caller, you always want to build your offense around your best players. And I think right now our most talented players are at running back. We have 2. Brandon Burks, who's here. He's a speed guy that can hit it inside and outside. And we have a big running back named Jordan Chun, who's one of the leading touchdown returners in the Sun Belt Conference. So we've got a big back in Chun and an all-purpose guy in Brandon Burks. So we're definitely going to run the football. Excited. I think anytime you have a quarterback, you have an opportunity. And Brandon Silvers is our quarterback. Set the all-time NCAA record for highest completion percentage as a freshman, and he's obviously an accurate guy. He's a better athlete than people recognize, and I think he's going to show a tremendous amount of improvement going into year 2 as a starter.
Two-part question. First of all, the defense has been the kind of the Achilles heel for Troy over the past few years. How has the progression been through spring and summer, and how much will you be relying on a freshman class as you had some depth issues in the spring?
Yeah, well, Jeremy, the first question I will say this is my background is on offense, but I do know this is you cannot build a championship football program or a championship team without a strong defense. So I've committed a lot of our financial resources to our defensive staff. I've placed an emphasis on defensive recruiting in the first recruiting class and now in our second recruiting class as well. So we're going to play defense at a high level. How quickly that's going to happen, I'm not sure. And as far as our overall, I don't know where our team's at. And I know a lot of head coaches are going to get up here and say, hey, this is where we're at, this is where we're going to go. And quite frankly, we went through spring. We haven't had any adversity on the football field yet. And I haven't been in the league since 2009. It's a lot changed. I'm not sure what else is in the league, where the other teams are. So I think there's a lot to be said for that. Defensively, I think we're gonna be strong rushing the passer. Tyler Roberts, Rashad Dillard had a great spring. Sam Levy moving down, and we're going to be able to rush the passer. We've got to be able to establish and stop the run. That's where teams have had a way with us in the last several years at Troy. So we're going to have to do that. As far as playing freshmen, I think at certain positions you can rely on freshmen. Defensive back, wide receiver, those are two areas that jump out that you can play freshmen. Now, would you rather play seniors? Of course, but I think that's a position just from a physicality standpoint you can come in and play. I think we will have to probably depend on a couple defensive linemen just because we're thin at that position, and that keeps me up at night a little bit.